Hi Witchlings, this is Lorelei. I recently watched a video by Alvine. It's been a long time since she posted the video. I think she posted it in like 2018, but I'm just now seeing it, so I'm just now doing it. It is a Witchy Tag video with a bunch of questions. I thought this might be a good kind of start and foundation base to my YouTube channel. You guys can get to know me a little bit better and know about like my practice a little bit better. I'm actually, because it's a list of 30 questions and I like to talk, I'm actually going to split this up into, I think, like 4 videos. And I'm going to probably just make them a playlist. So if you want to watch all the way through, you can just watch the playlist. And if you just want to watch like the first part or the second part or whatever, you can do that. I will put, I think I'm going to put all of the questions on in the description of every video and just like somehow notate which ones I'm going over. Like questions, this number through this number is in this video, something like that. I'll figure it out. All right, so since this is the first video, I'm gonna start with the first 7 questions. So we're gonna do questions 1 through 7 in this video. The first question is, when did you first know you were a witch? I didn't really know. Like I kind of chose to be. I still feel weird about calling myself a witch. I think just because I grew up with all of that Hollywood-ness, you know, about witchcraft. So I wasn't raised in witchcraft, so it still kind of feels weird to call myself a witch. I prefer to call myself a pagan, just because, I don't know, it feels better. I don't know. But people will talk about how they did witchy things growing up or whatever, and I think we all did. I mean, honestly, when we play pretend, when we use our imaginations, we're delving into that realm of magical play. I mean, really, I played pretend with my friends up through middle school. I had a dream catcher from 2nd grade over my bed that I actually did believe kept away my nightmares. I loved making concoctions. Like, I would put together a bunch of different like shampoos and conditioners and stuff to see if I could like make like a better shampoo or conditioner. I don't know, I was really weird. But I put all that stuff together, and I don't think I ever made anything like super awesome, but whatever, it was fun. And I would put it in something that looked cool, you know, so I could call it like a potion or something like that. But I was playing pretend, I was using my imagination. And I think that, honestly, using your imagination, playing pretend, being able to let go of reality is really what makes someone more affinitive, I guess, with magic. That's probably the wrong word. Have an affinity for magic? Affinitive with magic? I don't know. English teacher going crazy here, I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, number 2. How long have you been practicing? I have been practicing since July of 2011. Wait. Yes. I think. 2011 or 2012. I think my year and a day study ended in July 2012. Yes. Whatever. So if I started in 2011, if I decided to start walking down this path in 2011, like I think I did, then I have been practicing for 8 years, because it's now 2019. And it's actually August, right? Just past July. So it'll be 8 years. So yeah, I've been on this path for 8 years. Now, I feel like I've taken some detours. I mean, I haven't been like really awesome about practicing my craft or my faith or anything like that. I've taken some detours and some breaks, and I'm just now kind of trying to get back into it. And I've kind of been like figuring everything out, but I feel like everybody does that, you know. We all try to, we're honestly, if you're really into this stuff, then you're constantly trying to figure this stuff out, you know. I mean, you're constantly trying to better yourself and better understand yourself and understand the world. So yeah, I've been on this path for 8 years. What kind of witch are you? That's question number 3. Sorry, I have a little bit of cold. I'm an eclectic witch. That's the only way I can put it. I used to be a Christian witch. I started out kind of as a Christian witch. Then I went to full pagan, completely gave up Christianity. I kind of came back around to Christianity a little bit, and adding some Christianity back in. And now I would just say I'm eclectic. I borrow from Norse traditions, I borrow from Gaelic traditions, I borrow from, well, Gaelic, Celtic, borrow from Celtic traditions, I borrow from Anglo-Saxon traditions, I borrow from Greek and Roman traditions. What else? Scandinavian traditions. The only one I don't really borrow from is Egyptian, and I don't know why, I just don't feel an affinity to Egyptian stuff. Like, it's interesting, but I don't really feel like it's me or for my path right now. A lot of the stuff that's in like Northern Europe, Northwestern Europe, that's kind of where I focus. And I think part of that is my own heritage. I asked my mom one time, Mom, what's my heritage? For those of you who don't know, I live in the States. I live in the US. And I was really interested in my heritage probably around high school, something like that. And I went and I asked my mom, I'm like, Mom, what's my heritage through your side of the family? She looked at me and she goes, Anglo-Saxon. Oh, thanks, Mom. That just means I'm white. Great. European white. It's not helpful. I later found out we are both Irish and Scottish, which is kind of weird, but we are. We're also Welsh. On my dad's side, I have German. I think that's all I know about. Number 4. We're going to move on. Number 4. What path or tradition do you follow? My own. I don't follow anybody else's path. I don't follow anybody else's tradition. I've looked into some. I've done a little bit of research on Gardnerian. Very little research on Dianic, Wicca. I've looked into Druidry. Looked into some of that. There's a lot of different little pieces of different stuff that appeals to me. It's just no one path or no one tradition totally fits what I believe. So I just kind of follow my own path. I take bits and pieces from everywhere, which is why I'm eclectic. Okay, moving on. Number 5. I don't understand this question. We'll kind of wade through it, but I don't understand it. Number 5. Is your craft devotional or secular? I think the second question in this question is supposed to help clarify. How do you incorporate your faith into your craft if you do? Okay, so I guess for me, my craft is both devotional and secular. I do try to incorporate my faith. The problem is I don't exactly know what my faith is. I'm still working on that. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't have a patron deity. I don't have a matron deity. I don't have a pantheon that I follow. Specifically, I have maybe worked with 1 or 2 like named deities in my practice since 2011. Okay, maybe a few more than that. I worked very shortly with Brigid. I did a house blessing and invoked Hecate. I've never been sure how to properly pronounce her name, but I think it's Hecate. Anyway, I have worked with Eostre, which, for those of you who, because Eostre is kind of a more, like, the name is also used for Ostara. Ostara and Eostre are the same goddess, I guess. For some reason, I prefer the name Eostre, so I invoked Eostre. I haven't really worked with a whole bunch of other deities. And that's actually something, I'll probably do another video on this, talking more about this, because my faith is really important to me. Like, I feel like I want to have a spirituality. I want to have a relationship with deity. But one thing that I've struggled with for the past 8 years is as my understanding of deity, as my beliefs about deity have changed and adapted and evolved, I don't really know how to interact with deity anymore. I know that may sound weird, but for some of you who are going through the same thing I am will understand this. But coming from a Christian background, I actually, as a teenager and as a young adult, I felt very close to God, Christian God, right? I had kind of a like aha moment where everything that I thought I knew or thought I believed kind of broke down in my face. Sometime during, I think this was late 2011 or early 2012. It was during my year and a day. And I went, holy crap, if none of this is true, if I don't believe this, if this is all changing, then my whole outlook on deity, on God, on Christianity, it all changes. Because I guess I felt like that was like the foundation of my faith at the time. And I never really like hit my stride as far as interacting with deity since. I have tried, and I think I just haven't clicked with a face. I don't know. So my belief about deity is that there's one entity, whether you want to call it the universe or spirit or deity or God, goddess, whatever you want to call it. I am very much still kind of monotheistic in that way, as far as like, I believe there's one power that it all comes from, one energy, so to speak. But just like I am a mother and a wife and a daughter and a sister, and I have all these different faces, so does God. And that's what I believe. I believe that the different deities we talk about, Hecate, Caradwen, Apollo, Brigid, Thor, any of those deities, I believe that they're all basically faces of one being, one entity, one energy, and that they're all kind of archetypes, I guess. And so it's hard for me to connect with one specific archetype, I think. And I think that's what I've struggled with, because I feel like I haven't really had a relationship. I haven't really had a conversation with deity in a really long time. And I feel like I feel like that's missing from my practice. I don't think everybody feels that way. And it's okay if you don't feel that way. I mean, if you aren't interacting with deity and you aren't missing anything, then don't worry about it. I feel like I want and should have a relationship with deity, and I don't. And I feel like that's lacking. I feel like that's missing from my practice. And I feel like that kind of answered number 5, but also like went totally off on a tangent. So I apologize about that. We're going to keep going. Number 6. Are you a closeted witch or out in the open? If so, how do your friends and family feel about your path? I like to say that I have one step out of the closet. I am mostly closeted. My workplace does not know. My boss doesn't know. My coworkers don't know. My immediate family, and by immediate family, I mean my husband, my son, they know I'm completely out at home. My husband is okay with it. My husband is not really religious. He's more spiritual, if anything, but I feel like he's more like agnostic than anything. But he's okay with whatever I'm doing. I'm out with my son, but I don't think he understands it. I mean, he's 3. He's 3. He doesn't understand it. It's fine. I have mentioned it to my parents, my husband's parents. They know, but we don't talk about it. My husband has said his mom probably doesn't care. His dad was a little bit wary when he first heard. He was raised Southern Baptist. His whole family is Southern Baptist. I believe his family, as far as like my husband's aunts and uncles, are aware or were aware. I don't know. And I would have been shunned if I was like outward with it, if I talked about it at all. So I just don't talk about it with them. I don't have to. I don't need to. Like, it's none of their business anyway. My mom knows. I think part of her tries to ignore it because she doesn't want to deal with it. The other part of her has become a little bit crazy. I remember when I first kind of came out to her and started talking to her a little bit about it, my mom called me up one day and said, "Honey, I'm afraid that you're giving up on Jesus." And I went, and this time I was actually like going into like Christian witchery too. Like I had not given up my Christianity at all. And I was like, "Mom, I'm not giving up on Jesus. I just don't think he's the only way." And I'm not saying he's not my way. I'm just saying I don't think he's the only way. And my mom was like, "Oh my God," she freaked out. It was kind of hilarious, which is really funny when you look at my mom's house. If you walk over to my mom's house, if you go to my mom's house and look around, she's such a freaking witch. She doesn't even know it. She is so witchy. She has a green man plaque on her front porch. She has garden after garden after garden. She talks to her plants. She talks to the animals. She talks to the vegetables that she is, like if she goes out to shuck corn, she will talk to the vegetables as she shucks the corn. If she is picking a peach off of a tree or a strawberry off of a bush, she thanks the plant. I'm telling you, she's a witch. She doesn't know it. I haven't told her that because I think it would just offend her, but my mom is a witch. It's just, okay. Moving on. My dad kind of knows about it. We've talked about it a little bit. My dad's more okay with it than my mom is, but he's also like, what are you doing? Please don't sacrifice animals. And I'm like, Dad, I'm not sacrificing animals. So whatever. We just don't really talk about it. I have told some of my friends, I've talked about my spirituality with some of my friends. I don't call myself a witch. I will say that I have pagan tendencies. I will talk about what I believe, but I try not to label it because I think that's what freaks people out. So that's kind of number 6. And the last one for this video, because it's already 22 freaking minutes long. Are you solitary or in a coven? I am currently solitary. I have been solitary basically my whole path. I miss the socialization of church. I will say that. That's something that I miss about being Christian. So I miss going to church. And not for the surface, but more for like, there are these other people that believe similarly to me, and we can talk about our spirituality and we can do that. So I'm kind of hoping that creating this YouTube video, well, not just this video, this channel, I'm hoping that creating this YouTube channel will help me to find more people that kind of believe the same way I do, maybe make some friends, build some relationships, kind of get to know other people who have similar beliefs to me, so that I can actually have conversations about spirituality with other people and not be afraid of being judged. So yeah, I would love to be in a coven if I could find a really good one that I meshed with. But I just haven't found one yet. I'm looking, but I haven't found one. So right now I'm solitary. All right, so that was the first 7 questions. We're gonna do, I think my next video is gonna be 8 through 17, which is probably means it's gonna be a longer video. So I'm so sorry. But I mean, this one's already 25 minutes, so yeah. Anyway, I will see you next time, and I hope you guys, I don't know, I hope you guys are awesome and stuff. Bye.